Listen closely. What I'm about to share with you has been kept behind closed doors at the highest levels of space research. On April 3rd, 2025, an unprecedented solar flare of magnitudes we've never before witnessed is predicted to strike Earth's magnetosphere, an event that can radically accelerate your personal timeline jump. Most outlets will downplay the significance. They'll attribute it to normal solar cycles or offer reassuring platitudes that there's no cause for alarm. But in reality, this phenomenon carries mind-boggling implications for every single one of us. If you've sensed an undercurrent of electricity in the air lately, if your heart has been racing for no apparent reason, or if you've felt a sudden urge to make major changes in your life, know that you're not imagining things. There's a reason these experiences are intensifying right now, and it goes far beyond mere coincidence. My name is Dr. Carmen Blake. I spent 15 years at NASA, leading multiple solar observation projects and analyzing powerful data streams from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. Throughout my career, I delved deeply into solar phenomena, measuring electromagnetic turbulence and plasma bursts across our heliosphere. However, there was always another side of me. I'm also a spiritual channel who has communicated with higher intelligences and worked with subtle energies since my childhood. Yes, it's an unusual combination, serious science and esoteric knowledge. But that dual perspective allowed me to detect patterns most wouldn't see. After working with teams who studied everything from coronal mass ejections to quantum fluctuations in Earth's geomagnetic field, I noticed consistent anomalies that matched ancient prophecies, mystical teachings, and direct intuitive downloads. That's why I'm here now, to share privileged insights that blend NASA-based data with the wisdom of higher realms. In this very moment, cosmic forces are aligning to create one of the most potent windows of transformation humanity has seen in millennia. Astrologers have already pointed out the unique planetary alignments crossing into April, particularly Saturn shifting into new territory and the shadow of a recent lunar eclipse still reverberating in the collective field. Combine that with the sun's heightened activity, and you have an energetic recipe that simply has not appeared in our recorded history. We're on the threshold of what I call the Kronos Surge, a cosmic pulse that interacts with time itself. In the past, solar flares have caused radio blackouts or subtle emotional swings, but this time, something is different. The amplitude is predicted to spike into X-class territory, with a voltage NASA insiders are calling borderline unstoppable. Energetically, this translates to an evolutionary jolt that can propel your consciousness forward into the next phase of your life path. Over the next hour, I will explain why April 3rd, 2025 is a date you can't ignore. You will learn about the timeline jump protocol, a blend of scientific research and spiritual practice that can help you harness this massive surge instead of being overwhelmed by it. You'll discover physical, emotional, and spiritual signs indicating whether you're synchronizing with these new frequencies. More importantly, I'll share tangible steps to prepare yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually, so you don't get caught in the flare's turbulence. If you've been waiting for a catalyst to change your job, realign your relationships, or even alter your destiny at the soul level, this is it. So, stay with me until the very end. because missing even a single key insight might mean letting this once-in-a-lifetime cosmic opportunity pass you by. Let's begin by breaking down the phenomena behind solar flares and how they intersect with our collective awakening. In mainstream science, a solar flare is a sudden flash of brightness on the sun, typically observed near its surface and in close proximity to sunspot groups. It involves a massive release of energy. Think tens of millions of atomic bombs going off simultaneously in the solar atmosphere. Astronomers measure these flares across different classes, C, M, and X, based on their intensity, with X being the strongest. While flares are mostly known to cause radio blackouts and mild interference with satellites, we rarely address their deeper impact on the human mind, body, and spirit. That impact, according to recent studies, is quite profound. We know from research at the HeartMath Institute that fluctuations in Earth's magnetic field can directly affect human brainwaves, emotional states, and even DNA expression. One published study suggests that nearly 87.3% of individuals tested showed changes in heart rate variability during geomagnetic storms. Now, combine that with concepts of quantum physics. Reality, in many scientific circles, is viewed as a field of infinite probabilities. Each timeline is a vibrational potential. When a significant energetic event disrupts the usual electromagnetic environment, it can effectively thin the veil between these timelines, allowing individuals to jump or shift from one probable reality to another. On a spiritual level, we speak of vibrations, frequency alignment, and ascending into higher dimensions of existence. The synergy here is striking. The massive solar flare isn't just about high-energy photons bombarding our atmosphere. It's about the synergy of electromagnetic resonance and conscious intent. You can envision it like a wave in the ocean of time. When that wave builds, you can either ride it and get swept into a new shore, your new reality, or tumble beneath it, losing sense of direction. Historically, we have glimpses of solar-driven transformations that changed entire civilizations. The ancient Maya meticulously observed solar cycles, believing that certain sun periods corresponded to leaps in human consciousness. The Egyptians revered Ra, the sun god, attributing cosmic shifts in their spiritual understanding to solar phenomena. Sumerian tablets speak of cyclical solar events that usher in new epochs. Vedic traditions link solar eclipses and flares to the renewal of cosmic life cycles. Remarkably, each tradition, though separated by vast distances and cultures, predicted intervals of intense solar activity that would herald dramatic leaps forward for humanity. Cross-referencing these ancient prophecies reveals a common thread, a solar awakening that can trigger both chaos and profound enlightenment. And here we are, amid a moment that scholars, seers, and scientists have long whispered about. This upcoming event on April 3rd is not a random spike. According to closed-door NASA analyses, the sun's magnetic fields are twisting into a uniquely volatile configuration. Data from the Solar Heliospheric Observatory indicates a coronal loop pattern that reaches a magnitude not seen since the space age began. Picture two colossal magnets twisting in opposite directions until they snap, releasing unstoppable energy. That's what we're facing. We're talking about a flare that can easily cross the X20 threshold, something so strong that it might briefly disrupt satellite communications worldwide. On a spiritual level, that very disruption can ripple into our consciousness, offering a time warp effect. Just as strong ocean currents wash away loose sand, leaving only the strongest bedrock, this flare is poised to strip away illusions and illusions of who we thought we were, revealing our genuine, authentic selves. Consider the story of Javier, a financial consultant who just last month experienced a smaller flare's energetic preview. One morning, he woke up with an unshakable feeling that something monumental was about to happen. He felt his heart pounding as if it were in constant conversation with an invisible force. Over the next few days, he spontaneously reconnected with an old friend who introduced him to meditation. He also discovered a hidden passion for painting. Suddenly, memories he'd long forgotten surfaced, as if time had folded in on itself. Within a week, he quit his high-paying but unfulfilling job and began traveling the world to share art that expressed his new consciousness. Javier claims that in those fleeting moments around the smaller flare, he saw multiple timelines, one where he remained stuck in his old life, and one where he soared into a new, purposeful existence. He chose the latter, and that choice, he insists, was catalyzed by the solar energies that unlocked his deeper knowing. Now, you might be wondering, how will you know if you're being affected by this colossal April 3rd flare? The signs can be wide-ranging, but they often include sudden spikes of physical, emotional, and spiritual phenomena. Physically, you might experience intense heart palpitations that come and go without any apparent medical reason. This is your heart's electromagnetic field, syncing up with the fluctuating geomagnetics around the planet. Some feel sporadic dizziness or waves of heat coursing through the body, reminiscent of mild fevers. Others report unusual fatigue, followed by unexpected bursts of energy, as if a cosmic current is literally recharging them from the inside out. Headaches or pressure around the temples can also be common, especially if your pineal gland or third eye center is opening up to these higher frequencies. Sometimes people notice that their appetite changes drastically. They either crave dense, grounding foods or can barely eat anything solid for days. All these symptoms, while occasionally disconcerting, serve as markers that your body is adapting to an upgraded energetic template. Emotionally, you may find yourself navigating sudden waves of euphoria, followed by brief episodes of unexplained sadness. Don't be alarmed. These emotional swings often occur because old traumas, fears, or insecurities rise to the surface, seeking release. Our psyche detoxifies in the presence of strong solar vibrations, much like how intense sunlight can burn away fog. Many report enhanced sensitivity during this period, feeling more empathy toward others or crying more easily, whether from joy or catharsis. You might start remembering painful childhood moments out of nowhere, or feel an inexplicable urge to forgive someone you've long harbored resentment toward. This is the emotional house cleaning that precedes an authentic timeline jump. On the spiritual front, be prepared for amplified intuition and possibly psychic flashes. You may see sequences of repeated numbers like 1111 or 333, or find yourself in bizarre synchronicities, bumping into old acquaintances precisely when you're thinking about them, stumbling onto books that speak exactly to your current questions, or dreaming about future events that soon come to pass. Some people experience time dilation, where hours pass in what feels like minutes, or vice versa. It's as though you're momentarily stepping outside the standard flow of linear time. Also watch for a sense of being pulled toward new social circles or spiritual communities that speak a language your soul resonates with. Those who can no longer match your rising vibration might start to fade away naturally from your daily life. This isn't rejection, but rather a realignment. It doesn't stop at individuals. Your environment and relationships can shift in tandem. If you're frequently surrounded by people in a lower vibrational state, complaining, blaming, or living in fear, you might suddenly feel an invisible force urging you to create boundaries or spend less time in those environments. Conversely, you could feel magnetically drawn to new geographic locations, craving the presence of mountains, oceans, or places known for strong energetic vortices. If you've always lived in a bustling city and find yourself yearning for a quiet countryside retreat, that's a clue your higher frequencies are seeking resonance. Partnerships may enter a period of recalibration too. Long-standing issues could erupt so they can be cleared once and for all. In some cases, relationships deepen and become more meaningful. In others, they gently dissolve to make space for new connections aligned with your upgraded trajectory. All these shifts, physical, emotional, spiritual, relational, are signs that you're preparing for the cosmic wave that peaks on April 3rd. Rather than fearing or suppressing these experiences, recognize them as birth pangs of the new you. However, preparation is key. Just as you wouldn't ride a massive tidal wave on a flimsy boogie board, you also don't want to meet this solar flare unprepared. There are steps, both scientific and esoteric, that can help anchor you during this intense period. First and foremost, tending to your physical vessel is non-negotiable. In the days leading up to April 3rd, consider adjusting your diet to include high-vibration foods, fresh, organic fruits and vegetables, plenty of purified water, herbal teas, and wholesome grains. Limit or avoid processed foods, refined sugars, and excessive caffeine. These substances can cloud your energy field, making it harder for your body to integrate the solar frequencies. In my own life, I've been guided to incorporate more chlorophyll-rich foods, like spirulina, wheatgrass, and dark leafy greens, because they naturally help the body process electromagnetic shifts. Also, grounding exercises become crucial. Whether it's walking barefoot on grass, hugging a tree, or simply sitting on the earth for 15 minutes each day. This helps discharge excess energy and stabilize your nervous system. Sweating out toxins also assists in calibrating your biology. Light exercise, yoga, or even dance can move stagnant energy so it doesn't build up uncomfortably in your muscles and joints. Listen to your body if it asks for extra rest. Solar flare periods often require more sleep or naps because your cells are literally reorienting at an accelerated rate. Additionally, keep hydrated. Water is a conductor of electromagnetic energy, and staying properly hydrated ensures the new frequencies can move fluidly throughout your system. If you have access to a natural body of water, an ocean, lake, or river, dip in it and visualize any dense or negative energies washing away. Mentally, you want to create a fortress of calm amid the chaos. Meditation, even just 10 or 15 minutes a day, can work wonders. A simple technique is to close your eyes, breathe slowly and visualize a radiant sun within your heart. With each inhale, imagine drawing in the sun's warmth. With each exhale, allow that warmth to permeate your entire being. This doesn't just promote relaxation, it also aligns your personal energy field with the sun's benevolent life force, creating resonance rather than resistance. If you're prone to anxious thoughts, try a thought observation practice. Sit quietly and label each worry or fear as it arises, letting it drift past your mental screen without clinging to it. This trains your mind to remain steady as cosmic energies swirl around you. Emotionally, we must be ready to let go of old baggage. We often suppress anger, guilt, shame, or regret. But solar flares act like cosmic catalysts, bringing unresolved emotions to the surface so they can finally be released. One method is a simple but powerful writing exercise. Each evening, jot down whatever negative or limiting emotions surfaced that day. Then visualize placing those words in a flame and watching them burn into ashes. The symbolic act of letting them go can have surprisingly profound effects on your psyche. Remember, transformations can feel uncomfortable, but they pave the way for authentic breakthroughs. Creating a sacred space within your home can further support your process. If possible, designate a quiet corner where you keep crystals like clear quartz, amethyst, or selenite to magnify the area's energetic clarity. A salt lamp or a diffuser with essential oils like frankincense, lavender, or sage can purify the atmosphere. Music is another powerful ally. Tuning into frequencies such as 4-3-2 Hz, 5-2-8 Hz, or 9-6-3 Hz can help harmonize your brainwaves with higher vibrations. I recommend a short daily ritual of smudging the room with sage or Palo Santo, setting a clear intention that only energies of love and alignment are welcome. You can even place a small bowl of water in the center of the space to absorb any discordant vibrations. As for timing, here's an action plan for the days leading up to and following April 3rd. 2 or 3 days before, begin hydrating more rigorously and decluttering your environment, both physically and energetically. That means throwing out old junk you no longer need, cleaning your living space, and possibly journaling about any old emotional baggage that might be weighing you down. The night before the flare, take a salt bath or shower, imagining the salt water scrubbing away any negativity. On the day of the flare, ideally spend some time in nature, if it's safe to do so, and engage in a powerful meditation or timeline jump protocol. Later, I'll share more about that protocol, which involves focusing your intention on the timeline you wish to activate. Over the next 2 to 3 days, remain gentle with yourself. Emotional or physical detox symptoms might spike briefly. Continue your self-care, get extra rest, and listen to your intuition. By the end of that period, you should feel a tangible shift in your overall energy and perspective. Before I detail the exact timeline jump protocol, let's pause for a short Q&A. I know many of you have pressing questions. Q. Could this flare be dangerous? A. From a standard scientific viewpoint, large solar flares can disrupt communications, but typically don't pose a direct physical threat unless it's off the charts extreme. Energetically, though, it can be overwhelming if you're unprepared or resisting personal growth. That's why preparation is key. Q. How do I protect my electronics? A. While some worry about grids going down, NASA's official stance is that most modern systems have basic shielding. However, if you're concerned, keep backups of important data. More importantly, focus on protecting your own energetic system by staying calm and grounded. Q. Is it normal to feel like I'm losing friends or family members because our energies no longer match? A. Yes. During a major shift, certain relationships may fade. Think of it as making room for new, more aligned connections. Letting go with love and gratitude opens doors to more fulfilling dynamics. Q. Can children and pets also feel these effects? A. Absolutely. Children are highly sensitive and can show sudden mood changes or heightened creativity. Pets might become restless or clingy. Provide them with a calm environment and comforting presence. Now for a special revelation. NASA's internal modeling indicates a possibility that once the geomagnetic storm threshold surpasses certain triple-digit KP indices, linear time experiences micro-distortions. Although NASA doesn't publicly discuss these time-warping micro-distortions, I have personally seen the data showing that time measurement devices can register anomalies of up to 0.06 seconds during X-class flares. That might not seem like much, but at a subtle energetic level, it's enough to create rifts, moments where your consciousness can slip into parallel outcomes. Most people remain oblivious, but if you set an intention at that precise interval, you effectively choose a new timeline. I'm sharing this in a lowered voice, figuratively speaking, because few people know it's even happening. With that in mind, let's move into the timeline jump protocol. On April 3rd, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit upright, place your hands on your heart, and begin inhaling slowly for a count of 5, exhaling for a count of 7. Once you feel centered, visualize a golden vortex swirling above your head, like a cosmic funnel connecting you to the sun. Envision the solar flare's energy streaming down into this vortex, passing gently into your crown and illuminating every cell in your body. Now, here's the critical part. While in this heightened state, call forth the image of the timeline you want to inhabit. Maybe you see yourself thriving in a new career, living in a different location, or radiating perfect health and joy. Feel the emotions, the excitement, and the reality of this scenario. Imagine your current self merging seamlessly with this future self. If you sense the swirling cosmic energy intensifying, hold steady. Affirm out loud or silently, I align with my highest, most fulfilling timeline now. Remain in this visualization for at least 11 minutes. When done, ground yourself by imagining roots growing from your feet deep into the earth, anchoring your new timeline into the planet's core. People who've practiced this technique during past moderate solar flares have reported instantaneous changes. Some felt their depression lift or gained clarity on a confusing life decision. Others suddenly found themselves with job offers or unexpected windfalls. The underlying principle is that cosmic events magnify intention. During normal times, your personal vibration alone shapes your reality. During a mega flare, that energy is supercharged. Instead of you trying to row a small boat across a vast ocean of probabilities, it's as if a powerful wind sweeps your sails, carrying you swiftly to your chosen destination. Now, a critical aspect of raising your vibration in the days around this event is monitoring your mental diet as much as your physical one. Negativity, whether from mainstream media or your own self-criticism can drag down your frequency. Practice mindful consumption of information. If you find yourself doom scrolling, gently redirect to more uplifting or neutral content. Surround yourself with positivity because every thought is an energetic seed. Water those seeds with belief and joy rather than fear and doubt, and watch your field bloom. A guided meditation can solidify this alignment. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in, imagining Earth's green energy rising up through your feet. Breathe out and see a bright solar beam descending through your crown. Let these two energies meet in your heart space. Acknowledge that you are a bridge between heaven and earth, between cosmic intelligence and grounded humanity. As you inhale, let the brilliant sunlight radiate through your chest, merging with Earth's stabilizing force. Exhale, releasing any stagnant or dense vibrations into a glowing sphere that gently floats away. Feel the wave of calm, the sense of cosmic connection, and affirm, I choose growth, I choose clarity, I choose alignment with the highest possibilities. Slowly open your eyes, carrying that serenity with you. For those of you who resonate with deeper DNA activation, know that solar activity has been linked to shifts in what scientists often label junk DNA. Ancient Egyptian and Sumerian texts hint that humans have latent strands of DNA that can be awakened through intense cosmic radiation, calling it the light codes of Ra, or messages from the star gods. While mainstream science remains cautious, some studies suggest that epigenetic changes can indeed be triggered by environmental factors, including electromagnetic fields. If you feel buzzing in your spine, tingling in your hands, or a subtle sense of expansion in your cranial region, you might be experiencing the early stage of DNA upregulation. Fueling this process with certain supplements, such as chlorophyll, B vitamins, and minerals like magnesium, can provide additional support. Coupled with spiritual practices, chanting, toning, or listening to isochronic tones, this heightened solar environment becomes the perfect incubator for awakened biology. Let me share another story. A NASA colleague of mine, who shall remain unnamed, confided in me about a small group within our research division that studied the correlation between M-class flares and spontaneous remission of certain chronic illnesses. While the study never made it to a public press release, the internal reports were astonishing. About 38% of participants living near geomagnetically sensitive regions showed measurable improvements in immune markers during peak flare days. It's as if the body's innate intelligence senses the surge in solar plasma and uses it like a blueprint to recalibrate. Hence, your health can also experience a quantum leap if you open yourself to these energies consciously. Now, you might ask, what if I feel overwhelmed by all these changes? How do I keep track of everything? Creating a simple schedule or daily plan can help. For instance, 2 days before April 3rd, begin cleaning your living space. Drink extra water. Reduce social media exposure. Start a brief morning meditation routine. 1 day before April 3rd, do a more extended meditation or breathwork session. Write down your top 3 intentions for the timeline jump. Cleanse yourself with a salt bath or smudging ritual. April 3rd, Solar Flare Day. Perform the timeline jump protocol at the time you feel the energy is most potent. Some sense it in the morning, others sense it around midday. Spend time in nature if you can. Keep your mind calm and heart open. April 4th to 5th, integrate gently. Journal about any insights. Continue hydrating, resting, and practicing short grounding exercises. Avoid frantic or negative environments if possible. April 6th onward. Notice the shifts in your life. Celebrate any serendipitous events. Reinforce your new timeline by visualizing it each day, even for a few minutes. Let's briefly look at the months ahead. According to my intuitive downloads and cross-referencing with NASA's data, the next 3 to 6 months could show a ripple effect of this flare. You may see global shifts, possibly unveiling hidden truths, social restructuring, or breakthroughs in technology. On a personal level, you might notice bigger leaps in career, relationships, and spiritual abilities. By the end of June, a convergence point emerges where many new realities will be locked in for those who consciously embraced the surge. For others who either resisted or remained unaware, life might feel more chaotic or turbulent. The good news is, we're all invited to the party. It's just a matter of whether we RSVP with our open hearts or let the wave pass us by. In times like these, perspective is crucial. You can view this solar event as a catastrophic disturbance to your routine, or you can see it as the universe's clarion call, urging you to step into your highest potential. From my vantage point, the latter is not just a possibility, it's a reality waiting for your agreement. Your future self is beckoning, and the sun is providing the necessary fuel to power your leap. So, the question becomes, will you step up and harness this cosmic gift, or let it drift by? Let's recap the essential points. First, on April 3rd, 2025, an unusually intense solar flare is poised to strike Earth with enough force to potentially cause short-lived disruptions in electronics and communications, but more importantly, to jolt our collective consciousness. Second, you may experience physical symptoms like heart palpitations, headaches, fatigue, or even bursts of energy as your body synchronizes with these higher vibrations. Third, emotional and spiritual cues, heightened intuition, emotional release, synchronicities, serve as signposts guiding you through the shift. Fourth, preparing through proper nutrition, hydration, grounding practices, and a conscious release of negative emotions can drastically reduce discomfort and amplify positive transformation. Fifth, the timeline jump protocol is your golden key to consciously choose a better future reality. Finally, while the wave hits on April 3rd, the reverberations will continue for months, offering a window of profound personal and global change. Imagine a future where human beings live in greater harmony, driven by higher ideals and guided by universal truths. A new Earth, or a 5D reality, call it what you will, beckons us with possibilities that surpass our wildest dreams. Once enough of us align our hearts with these cosmic frequencies, the old systems of fear and limitation naturally crumble. The sun, in its brilliance, is reminding us that we're not separate from the cosmos. Every cell in your body holds stardust. Every beat of your heart echoes the solar pulse. By consciously syncing with this massive flare, you contribute to the awakening, not just of yourself, but of the collective. So here's my call to action. Stay tuned for more updates. I'll be releasing additional guidance in the days leading up to April 3rd, specific times and recommended meditation windows. If you haven't already, join our growing community of solar watchers and awakened starseeds. Share your experiences, your intuitive hits, and your personal revelations, because this is not a journey any of us make alone. Together, we form a resonance field that magnifies the benefits of this cosmic event. If this message resonates with you, invite friends and family to watch. Tell them about the upcoming surge and how to prepare. We need every awakened soul to anchor these energies. Before we close, I ask you to reflect on one profound question. If reality itself is about to become malleable for a brief, shining moment, what timeline will you choose? Answer that question honestly. Dare to see yourself living that future, and then open your mind, body, and spirit to the solar wind that's about to blow open the doors of possibility. This is your moment. The universe is offering a rare chance to leap across the boundaries of what we thought was possible. Seize it. Thank you for joining me in this urgent and enlightening exploration. Remember, you are far more powerful than you realize. Harnessing the sun's gift, you can amplify your intention, realign your soul's path, and help create a collective shift that echoes throughout generations. Now, take a deep breath, exhale any lingering doubts, and step confidently into the radiant future that awaits. I look forward to hearing your stories of transformation and celebrating the miracle we co-create on April 3rd, 2025. Stay safe, stay aware, and stay aligned, because the next chapter of humanity's evolution is about to be written by all of us.